For number 1, it says state the roots. Remember, roots are the same thing as x-intercepts, okay, are the same thing as solutions. So all you're doing here is factor and solve, okay? If we factor this correctly, you still have an x. X squared plus 8x plus 16 gives you x plus 4 and another x plus 4. Then you have 4 minus x equals 0, okay? So all we have to do here is we're going to get a 0, okay? Solve means I set each part equal to 0. So 0, negative 4, another negative 4. And if I set 4 minus x equal to 0, we get x equals a positive 4. So state the roots means you just write them one time. So 0, negative 4, positive 4. Okay, 0, negative 4, and positive 4. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, if p plus 1 times k minus 3 equals 0 and p is positive, what is the value of k? P doesn't matter, okay? It makes no difference at all here. So all you really have to do is set each part equal to 0, okay? So if k minus 3 equals 0, move it over, we get k equals 3. That's it, okay? They're just giving you extra information that you really don't need. Okay? Let A and B be the roots of this. The roots are the same thing as solutions, same thing as x-intercepts. Okay, so basically this just means factor and solve. It's already set equal to 0. So if I factor this, that factors to be x plus 6 and x minus 1. Set each part equal to 0, so negative 6 and positive 1. Find a squared plus b squared. So negative 6 squared plus 1 squared. Negative 6 squared is 36, plus 1 squared is 1. Add them together, 37. Okay, so factor, solve, then find a squared and b squared. Doesn't matter which one is a and which one is b. You square both of them and add them together. That's it. Okay, square both of them, add them together. If 7x squared plus 4x equals 3, which of the following is true? Okay, we just want to know the solution. So that means you have to set it equal to 0 and solve. So 7x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals 0. I just moved that over. If I factor that correctly, you're going to have a 7x and a 1x. You'll have a 3 and a 1. Okay, to do this correctly, you'd have to have a positive and a negative. Set each part equal to 0. You set them equal to 0, we will get a positive 3 over 7 and a negative 1. Now, look at these. Okay, and we want to know which one is true or are true. So there could be multiple answers here. The sum of the solutions is positive. Sum means add. If I added those together, would it be positive? No. Okay, the product of the solutions is negative. That means multiply. If I multiply those together, will it be negative?
Yeah.
Yes. And both solutions are integers. What is an integer?
Whole number.
Integers are whole numbers. Okay? Whole numbers. Doesn't matter if they're positive or negative, but whole numbers. So 3 over 7 is not a whole number, so that does not work. So just answer number 2. Okay? But you could have multiple answers there as well. Okay? Solve. How do we solve? Has to be set equal to 0. Then we factor and solve. So set each part equal to 0. Can I take a GCF out there?
No.
No. So we're going to do grouping. So take your first GCF out. Okay, GCF of the first part is x squared. Left behind would be x minus 1. Take out the negative. You have to take out that sign. So negative of 4. Left behind is x minus 1 again. If I break that up, I get x minus 1 and x squared minus 4. That can be broken down. That would give you x minus 1 and x plus 2 times x minus 2. The solutions means set each part equal to 0. So positive 1, negative 2, positive 2. So find the solutions or solve. Okay, 1, negative 2, and positive 2. Okay, find the two real solutions. So again, factor and solve. Okay, this is difference of squares. It would break down to x squared and x squared. What is the square root of 10,000? Right, so x squared plus 100, x squared minus 100. Okay, factor again. That gives you x squared plus 100 times x plus 10 times x minus 10. If I break this apart, okay, if I set this equal to 0, I would get x squared equals negative 100. Can I do that? Can you square root? Can you find the square root of negative 100? No, okay? We will do that in our next unit. Okay, these are something called imaginary solutions, so they're not real. Real means a number that you can see on a number line. Okay, so here, if I broke these up, negative 10, positive 10 are your real solutions. Okay, this one would give you an imaginary solution. On the next unit, I'm going to teach you how to take the square root of negatives. Yay, exciting. Okay, solve for number 7. What am I doing here? What's my first step? Should I FOIL? No. Okay, all you're doing is distributing. Okay, if I distribute, I get x minus 3x plus 9 equals 0. Combine like terms, that's negative 2x plus 9 equals 0. And then solve. Okay, so subtract the 9 from both sides, you'd get negative 2x equals negative 9. If I reduce correctly, or excuse me, divide, reduce correct, or cancel out the negatives, excuse me, you should get x equals 9 over 2.
Wouldn't it be 2 over 9?
Nope, I'm dividing by 2.
Oh.
Divide both sides by 2. If x minus 2, quantity squared, equals 49, what does x equal? How do I do that? How do I do that? This is the same thing as writing x minus 2 quantity squared minus 49 equals 0. This is quantities. Okay, so this is q plus 7 times q minus 7. Replace it with what I took out. So x minus 2 plus 7 and x minus 2 minus 7 equals 0. That becomes x plus 5 and x minus 9. Set them equal to 0, negative 5, positive 9. Which 2?
2.
Right here?
Yeah.
I took it out and I put it back.
Oh, that 2.
Oh, that 2. Okay. Same thing on number 9. Okay, this is actually, you can rewrite this as 81 minus q squared. That would break down to 9 plus q and 9 minus q. Replace what I took out. Would give you 9 plus 5 plus x and 9 minus 5 plus x. Be careful because you actually have to distribute a negative. Okay? That's why usually I tell you to keep those parentheses in there, but I think we've gotten a little lazy and stopped putting those in. It's important here for sure. Okay, so if I simplify this, we got 14 plus x times 9 minus 5 gives you 4 minus x. I distributed the negative and combined like terms in the same step. Distribute the negative, combine like terms. Break these up and I would get negative 14 and positive 4. Negative 14 and positive 4. Sorry, give me just a second. Why does this have a different answer? Sorry, hold on. No, it's not. I'm looking at how she did this, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, next one. Solve for number 10. How do we solve absolute values? Anyone remember? What do we do? Split them up and make what?
Two equations.
Right, so x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals 8, or x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals what? Negative 8. Okay? So coming back, hopefully. So we're going to add together like all the different units that we've done. Now, to solve, this has to equal what? 0. So move it over. X squared plus 6x. If you subtract 8, gives you minus 7 equals 0. And x squared plus 6x, add 8, so that's plus 9 equals 0. When these factor, we get x plus 7 times x minus 1 equals 0. So break that up. Negative 7, positive 1. Here, this is x plus 3 and another x plus 3. You only have to do it once because I only need one of those answers. So negative 3. So negative 7, 1, and negative 3. This has 3 solutions. 3 solutions. Okay, next one. This figure shows the graph of a quadratic function on the xy plane. Of all the points on xy on the graph, for what value of x is the value of y greatest? What is this asking you? Nope. Nope. No equations. We're asking the maximum, right? So, what is the x coordinate of the maximum? How do I tell? Okay, line of symmetry would be there. You're looking at the middle, right? It has to be exactly between, the vertex has to be exactly between 3 and 7. Therefore, what is the value of x? 5. Right? So this is some critical thinking, kind of. Okay? So 5. Number 12, at what point will y equals 12x squared plus 5x plus 1 attain the minimum value? The minimum value. Is this an up or a down parabola? This is facing up.
Oh, it's a down.
So the minimum, if it's facing up, it has a minimum value. I'm basically asking for its minimum. The x portion or the y portion of the minimum?
What's the point? So isn't it both?
At what point will that be the minimum value? So what do I really have to find here? I'm trying to find the vertex, okay? Excuse me, this should ask at what x point, okay, at what x value will you get the minimum? So all you're really asking for is the line of symmetry or the x portion of the vertex. Go ahead and close that, okay? So x equals negative b over 2a, negative 5 over 2 times 12 gives us negative 5 over 24. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Negative 5 over 24.